And you see the curve here? In just 3 weeks, the video explodes and reaches 1 million views for a channel that had at the time less than 1,000 subscribers. Don't lie, we all dream about that. Not necessarily on YouTube, but whether you are a photographer or a videographer, as soon you post on social media, we all have this little voice inside that tells you, if only it will explode, it will change everything. It does change, but not necessarily for the better. Today we are talking and I'm explaining why virality can be the worst thing to happen to a creator, and how my almost 2 million views video almost killed my YouTube channel. Remember April 2020? The whole world is slowly entering the first lockdown. We can't go out and take pictures anymore, so what do? I made a video with a few photos ideas to do, well, when you're stuck at home. The video comes out, it's dynamic, there's a little bit of motion design, it's fun, it works pretty well, even considering the very small size of my two channels at that time. A little background, I have two YouTube channels. In fact, it's the same channel, the same videos, but one in French, one in English with a strong French accent. Hello YouTube, how do you do today? It's interesting because you can compare the evolution of the two, and in 10 months, the two channels had the same progression curve, with about 1,000 subscribers each at that time. The English channel even had a slight lead, and the video, 1 month after its publication, could make between 500 and 1,500 views, which is not bad at all for such small audiences. When my video is released, I see that it works quite well the first days, especially on the English version, since it had been shared by some websites like Fstoppers, for example. But it's 2 months later, in July, that suddenly the video will explode. While it had already achieved a miracle, for me at least, of reaching 30,000 views, in only 3 days it will suddenly reach 200,000 views. 3 weeks later, 1 million. And in the same period of time, more than 25,000 subscribers arrived on my English channel. Then the feeling is whoa ho ho! You say to yourself, this is it, we are launched. And well, no, the descent is hard. After this video, little by little, YouTube stopped proposing my English content more and more, to the point where we are now, 1 year later. Let's compare the two channels today in July 2021. The English version has 36,600 subs, the French 90,500, almost 1 in 2. When I publish a video on the French channel, the average number of views over 7 days is between 3,500 and 8,000. On the English channel, 7 days after publication, the average is between 250 and 500 views, more than 10 times less for twice as many subscribers. Yeah, it hurts. You could argue that it's because the content is not interesting. Hey, oh, you know that it's not true, okay? What I do is... But more importantly, we have the point of comparison with the French version and the engagement that the videos get. The same kind of engagement that I had on the English version before this viral video. So what happened? Let's do our little investigation. If we look at the demographics of the audience, we can see that the video was seen mostly in India, but mostly by almost 80% women, which, unfortunately, it's extremely weird. In a perfect world, it will be 50-50, but in reality, it's far from that. Hey girls, what are you doing? Anyway, photography seems to be a man's world, or rather a world of men who pretend it's a world for men, like in many corporations. Take that in the face, toxic masculinity. But that would mean that there are plenty of female photographers and creators in India, and that's cool. Except that is not the reason here. My content is aimed at photographers. 90% of my videos are behind the scenes of my photoshoots, where I give pretty thorough explanations and analyze my images. This video, this montage, was just for this occasion. If we look at the sources of traffic that made the video explode, it's the suggestions on this type of video. And if we go and see what these creators are doing, they are DIY tips on fashion, makeup, etc. The audience watching this isn't deeply interested in photography, just in some tips to improve their images on Instagram. That's not my niche, they are not my target audience, and the majority of my videos are of no interest to them. But yet YouTube, based on the previous success, then offered them my new videos. Of course, without success, they are not interested. Views drop, YouTube thinks that my content is not attractive anymore, doesn't keep the viewers on the platform, so it offers it less and less, even worse, doesn't offer it at all to the audience it was intended for. The channel dies slowly. It's sad. Wait, sad music. Yeah, that's really sad. This goes for all creators. You make videos on YouTube, you are a photographer and you post on Instagram, you write on your blog, you make illustrations, you stream, you TikTok. Can we make it a verb? Yes, at the core basis, we create for what it brings us as a means of expression. But seeking to express ourselves, it's obviously with the aim of being heard and if possible by the greatest number. We all have inside an ego which burns of a desire of social acceptance. And at a time where our social circle or tribe is not limited to a closed geographical area, but on the contrary can extend to the whole world, well, we all have the fantasy, assumed or not, that our small voice will be heard everywhere. That one of our creation will one day explode and reach millions of people on the planet. That these millions of people will be touched by our message. That it will finally be the beginning of the recognition we deserve. In the first place, I really think that the part of merit is minor compared to the part of random luck in this kind of viral explosion. And secondly, what's the point of everyone listening to what you have to say? The real opportunity that social media offers is the possibility to be heard by the right people. The right people are not necessarily millions, but often a very small number. It is a bias of our brain to confuse, to equate quantity with quality, when it is generally the opposite. I would even say that it is almost antinomic. Virality does not necessarily go hand in hand with success, it's a mirage. I remember a great landscape photographer who had a picture that went viral around the world, was featured in all the major media and told me that it never brought him a single commission, unlike all his previous work. Attention doesn't necessarily turn into a client or a follower or whatever you want it to turn into. Well, I'm not saying that virality can't have a positive impact on the work of a creative or even launch a career, quite the contrary. I'm just saying that virality is not the be-all and end-all. You have to capitalize on it. In my case, you could argue, yeah, but you have been offered an opportunity, you should have taken advantage of it and repost the same type of video, the same theme, the same editing to keep this audience loyal, to offer them what they want to watch. Yes, basically this format I told myself that it was something I could do from time to time, because this type of motion design amuses me, but the truth is that it's not at all the heart of what I propose, of what I want to propose and share on my channel. 10 photography secrets with neon lights, wow effect, reflection, yeah, it's funny, I don't say, but it's a superficial approach of photography and that will interest people a little bit outside of this field, who have only a playful approach of the image. But photography is also much deeper, much more complex, and it is this type of investment that I want to talk about. I didn't want to trap myself into something that clearly isn't going to make me love it in the long run just because it's trendy right now. So yeah, it's a questionable choice, I hear that. I let the trend go by, you have to give people what they want to see. The difficulty is to find something that they want to see and that is in adequacy with what you want to do. In a pinch, I could have settled for millions of views and not have thousands of new subscribers, since that's more what hurt the channel. This is also a lesson to learn as a viewer. Never subscribe to a channel based on a single video view. Subscribe to an overall content that you like and that you know you want to follow. I'm the first one to be guilty in my videos of always saying subscribe, ring the notification bell. But for example today, if this is the first time you're watching me, you've arrived because I talked about YouTube. Well, I'm not going to talk about it again. Don't subscribe, it's useless. Go watch other videos of mine. If you're really interested in behind the scenes photoshoot, then it's worth it. The moral/lesson of the day, you understood it. Looking for a shortcut is not necessarily a good idea depending on the destination. And above all, addressing everyone, it's useless. What you need is to be heard by people who share the same values as the message you want to share. If you already know my channel for a while and you regularly watch my videos, stay, because now we're going to talk seriously. If it's your first time here, I'm not holding you back. I don't have anything more to add on that topic, so you can go. But before you do, subscribe, ring the bell. No, don't. That was a trap. Okay, we are between us. At the end of July, beginning of August, it will be 2 years since I've been posting on YouTube. And of course, the end of the season, it's time to take stock. Can you feel the cliffhanger coming? Clearly, what keeps me from growing on YouTube is the frequency with which I post. Once every 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks, sometimes more. It's really not enough. You know, I'm not on the platform full time, I have my production company to run on the side. It's not possible to do everything at once. And so I must admit that it is with a heavy heart that I have decided to put the channel on hold for a while. I'm going to transfer all my efforts on the French version to be able to propose content every week. It will only be temporary, the French channel is growing very well, and as soon as it will be possible for me to be full-time on YouTube and to start delegating tasks, I will take the opportunity to relaunch the channel here. here. I started it when I was living in Australia and it brought me a lot of great things. I met great people like North Borders and Seventh Thera. I got to collaborate with YouTubers I admire like Mattia Poya, Dan Mace, Pierre T. Lambert. I will be back, I really don't want to give up, I just need to free up more time. There is still one more video to come, one more vlog coming out at the end of the month, and then some videos, maybe I will also publish them here in English from time to time, but it won't be regular anymore. But if you want to join me on the French channel, don't hesitate, I will put the subtitles in English if you really want to keep following my adventures. Thanks again for this journey, see you in the next vlog, and after that, see you in a while, mate, but hey, keep on creating.